Hey, this is Christy Mattoon from Mind Rewire here again with you. I said some time ago that I was going to go through this book. It's a new book of Gregg Braden's called The Wisdom Codes. And I have gone through it and found it very interesting. I actually really enjoyed it because it's kind of work that I do anyway. But it's about ancient words that rewire our brains and heal our hearts, right? So he's using a lot of ancient texts, a lot of ancient scripture, and different words, different things that our ancestors used for different purposes and reasons. And he has them outlined here in this book. And I found it really interesting the way that he words some of this stuff. So I'm going to read a little bit of it to you, but then we're going to do chapter by chapter. So we're going to take each chapter into heart coherence and do the work and just see what you get, see what happens. Because sometimes when you do work outside of your normal realm of what you would be doing for yourself, speaking words over yourself can be very powerful. And so in his introduction, it starts out talking about words and that we think in words and we speak in words. And in the relationship of ourself to the world, the way we use our words makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. So I want to read this one little part to you. It's called Speaking in the Moment. It's in his introduction. And it says the indigenous experience of seeing lightning in the sky is a perfect illustration of Worf's discovery. So he was talking about a man named Worf. Let me see if I can find his full name. Benjamin Lee Worf. He's an American linguist. And he studied Native American linguistics. And so when the Native Americans, when the indigenous people see lightning in the sky, they refer to lightning in their language as a verb, that it's occurring, not that it's a noun for something that exists. So when we talk about lightning, we're talking about something that exists. When they say the word lightning, it's a verb as it's occurring. So when they say, it would be like the equivalent of saying it is lightninging, right? So it's not just lightning and it's something that you think exists. It's actually the happening as it's going on. The lightning is in a state of being rather than observing the lightning as a natural object. In a similar way, when considering the ocean, rather than describing a single wave as a noun, the wave or a wave, the Hopi see the wave as part of an all-inclusive system that is present, alive, and happening in that moment. Their thinking is reflected in the language that describes the experience, and they say the wave is waving, just as the lightning bolt is lightninging. Does that make sense? So it's an interesting difference in the way of expressing and understanding the world around you. And it actually gives words a deeper meaning. It gives them more power because they hold the structure of the form of creation and not just something that we're observing or seeing the way we use language, okay? He goes on to talk about how words create a living universe, how words change your brain, and I talk about this a lot too. We know that words change your brain. If you sit there doing the can'ts, don'ts, won'ts, shouldn'ts, won't, like all the things that lead you down the path that you can't have or do something, then that's where you find yourself. And so he talks about that kind of idea also in here. All right, so in the wisdom codes, he wants us to think about how we think of ourselves and solve our problems, right? With the wisdom codes, how do you think about yourself and solve your problems? And what are you even capable of thinking about? So this is going to expand your consciousness. And we want it to expand consciousness. You want to be able to open your mind and allow whatever the passage is, whatever the scripture is, whatever the ancient text is that he's presenting and putting out here. You want it to expand in your system. If you can allow the words to mean more than what you think they mean, based on what you learned about them, you will expand yourself in ways that will probably blow your mind. So as we go through this, I'll keep reminding you of these things. So let's see here. Is there anything else I can give you? So he gives us a how to use the wisdom codes. So step 1 is to familiarize yourself with the wisdom code you selected by reading its source and background. So we're going to go through these one chapter at a time. I'm not going to read the whole chapter to you. I'm going to walk you into heart coherence, and then I'm going to read whatever the verse, whatever the scripture is, whatever the thing is that he's calling this wisdom code while we're in heart coherence. So we're going to familiarize ourselves with it first. Then we're going to shift our focus with what he calls the quick coherence technique, which is very similar to what I do. It's a little bit different, but it's very similar. And then step 3 is to reread the code from the perspective, the heart-brain connection that you've created through the quick coherence technique. And so I'm going to read it out loud to you, and I encourage you to repeat it or say it as I'm saying it. And it says you can read it silently too, but there's something very powerful about saying a word out loud or speaking a word out loud. And by word, I mean a phrase, a sentence, an idea, right? The whole form and structure of whatever it is we're working on and talking about here. And then you want to feel it. You want to feel it inside your body. What do these phrases feel like? And that's actually his step 4, is notice how your body feels. Your body will respond quickly to the changes that you've created in your awareness and in your breathing. While these shifts may be subtle at first, they become more apparent as you become more and more attuned to the sensation. So for some people, we struggle to find feeling, right? I talk with people about this all the time. They just don't feel anything. And it's so subtle sometimes, the shift, they just aren't recognizing it. But when all of a sudden it can be pointed out, or you're like, well, you didn't feel like that before, so this is a new feeling. It's a different feeling. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to the physical sensations that you get. Do you feel anxious or calm, nervous or relaxed? Pay attention to your emotions. Do you feel fearful? Do you feel safe? Do you feel control? Do you feel out of control? Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? You're just noticing differences here, okay? There's no correct experience. There's no incorrect experience. Whatever your experience is what it's supposed to be in this place and time. All right? Okay. So I'm going to give you the how-to of the heart coherence first, or the quick coherence technique. He says, begin by shifting to a heart focus and breathe. So you're taking your awareness, you're taking your focus from whatever you're focusing on right now, including my video, including me, and shifting your awareness to your heart. So where you're just listening. So you're just going to hear my voice, but I want you to shift your awareness to your heart. As you inhale and exhale, we're going to start to breathe. It's a huge, big breath in, and then a nice, long, deep exhale. So as you're inhaling, you're pulling oxygen up into the system. Expand your rib cage, open them up as wide as you can. And then as you exhale, allow your breath to nice, slow, relaxed, allowing your shoulders to relax, your body to relax. Make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. So we're going to start this nice, slow breathing. As you're doing this, you're sending a signal to your body, right? From the vagus nerve into your system to calm down that place in your brain. We're just giving it a feeling of safety and calmness. And then turn your attention into your heart. Turn your attention into your heart. And as you're bringing your awareness and your attention into your heart, I want you to start to activate a positive feeling. From your heart center, make a sincere attempt to experience a regenerative feeling, he says, such as gratitude, appreciation, or care for someone or something in your life. Gratitude tends to be a relatively easy one, so go to gratitude if you can't get anywhere else. Gratitude, appreciation will get you there. Put all of your focus and awareness on that feeling. Be there with it inside your heart, with your awareness inside your heart. The following steps that you just now, or the previous steps that you just now did, create the conditions in your body to optimize the harmony and the coherence between your heart and brain. So we're optimizing coherence between the heart and brain. As you inhale and exhale, now I'm going to come to this first code. The first code is for protection. And there's a quote at the very beginning of this. I want you to stay in coherence, stay in your heart space as I read this. And this is not the code. This is just a little quote he has here. It says, "I don't know if what I'm afraid of is the state of the world. Rather, I think what I'm afraid of is the state of my attitude about the state of the world." And I just thought that was really interesting. That was by Craig D. Longzenbrow, a therapist and life coach. Very wonderful. So the first wisdom code is actually Psalms 91. And when I was doing a lot of energy work early in my career, I used Psalm 91 to clean houses, right? It is the Psalm of protection. So I'm going to read this to you. And then I want you to feel it and inside your heart space as I'm reading it. This protection is a code that was created by the prophet Moses as he climbed Mount Sinai to shield him from the unknown forces during his ascent. It became a standard for protection that ranges from the challenges of everyday life to the safety of entire armies preparing for battle. This particular source is the King James Bible. It is Psalms chapter 91, verses 1 and 2. And I'm just going to go straight into reading this to you. There's a lot of other information in here about the code itself, but I'm just going to read it to you. So as you inhale and exhale, listen to what I'm saying. "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by the day, nor for the pestilence that walk in the darkness, nor for the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 shall fall by my side, and 10,000 at my right hand, but it shall not come near thee. Only with your eyes shall you behold and see the reward of the wicked, because you have made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall be no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh unto thy dwelling. For He has given His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, and the young lion and the dragon shall be thou will trample under your feet. Because He has set upon His love for me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. And stay in your heart space. Now, during the wars, World War I, for example, it was commonly used for military units to be given the assignment of memorizing the soldier's prayer the night before they went into battle. In doing so, Moses' prayer of protection occupied their hearts and minds, preparing them for the hand-to-hand combat that they were about to face in the battlefields of Europe. Now, a lot of times people just use the first two verses. So I want you to hear these first two verses and be very aware and repeat them if you can. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And just notice how that makes you feel inside your body as you inhale and exhale. The key is to embrace this code with the focus of awareness, breath, and the feeling in the heart. If you're in your mind trying to understand it, you're in the wrong place. You're just going to get the polarity and the duality. Be in your heart place. The power of these wisdom codes comes from the repetition and doing so in an affirmative stance. In a heart coherent place, it actually imprints the code in the subconscious. So you're imprinting this code in your subconscious. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. Keep all of your awareness and focus inside your heart space. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He meaning you. Dwell in the secret place. The secret place is the heart. We were taught to be in our brains. The secret place is your heart. Of the Most High. The Most High is another name for Creator, for all that is, for the I am that I am. And you'll abide in the shadow of the Almighty. The Almighty, another name of God. I am that I am. Creator. Whatever word you use for this. Feel it in your heart space. Be here next time as we do wisdom code number 2, which is a Buddhist prayer of refuge. Thank you for being here.